Here for this occasion of relaunch, CTMS, we have Shri TV Ramachandran as a guest of honor. Shri Ramachandran is presently the President, Broadband India Forum, as well as the founder and CEO of Advisory at TVR, consultancy firm in the ICT and GMT space. Previously, he was the Resident Director of Affairs and Government Relations at Vodafone India from 2009 to 2014. TV, as is known amongst his colleagues, has played a key role in mobile telecommunications in India from the very beginning in 1994. He was the first CEO of Sterling Cellular Limited, part of SR, that later became Vodafone India Limited. Shri TVR is credited with pioneering the effort to establish and lead the Cellular Operators Association of India, COAI, in 1997, and nurtured it for 12 years as its Director General, to the position of COAI being one of the most credible and vibrant professional bodies in India. Respected sir, please welcome.
Thank you, Asha ji. Respected Dr. Chaudhary Garu ji, respected Dr. R. Sharma, Shri Sudhendra Kulkarni, Dr. Hajela, Dr. Bhaskar Rao, Dr. Jayaprakash Narayan, Convener Shri Mohan Raju, esteemed ladies and gentlemen. Today is indeed a historic day for Indian telecoms, and we are all gathered here on the occasion of World Telecommunications and Information Society Day, and very importantly, to pay tribute to the great telecom reformist, Dr. Chaudhary Garu, a doyen par excellence of Indian telecom. It is my proud privilege as one of Chaudhary Garu's greatest admirers to say a few words on this occasion. In talking about Dr. Chaudhary, where does one start? It's indeed a big challenge. He may be a small-made man, but he is indeed such a giant, a colossus of a man, towering above us all mere mortals in telecom. Most of us have learned from him, and his attributes and accomplishments are so innumerable that we are bound to be grossly inadequate in whatever we say and do on this occasion. Notwithstanding the above, today being the famous ITU WTISD, or earlier called World Telecom Day, please permit me to begin with ITU itself. The theme for WTISD 2022 is essentially the theme of inclusivity of digital technologies, stated as digital technologies for older persons and healthy aging. But I would rather look at it in a wider ambit, not only older persons and healthy aging, but anybody who is differently enabled, who is disadvantaged, because there are various types of divides. There can be a divide of rich and poor, of urban and rural, of educated, uneducated, of elderly and young. So it's a big, very types of divides. And this theme of WTISD is completely in sync with the philosophy and core objective of our nation, which is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. That is, taking all in the path of development and not leaving anyone behind, however weak that person may be. Dr. Chaudhary Garu has been an inveterate champion of inclusivity from the word go. As far back as the 1990s, Chaudhary Garu was fighting for the cause of telecom inclusivity through his campaigning for enhanced affordability and availability of telephone services. He used to say it should be as cheap as a postcard. In that sense, he was truly farsighted and visionary as regards inclusive telecom services for India, and believed, like our late eminent president, Dr. Abdul Kalam, that telecom and digital connectivity is a great leveler, a demolisher of imbalances and inequities. That is what he firmly believed in, and he worked tirelessly for that goal. And so it is most appropriate that we today celebrate not only the inclusivity theme of ITU, but also the contributions of Dr. Chaudhary and the relaunch of CTMS. Even in those early years, Dr. Chaudhary Gauri was highly regarded and respected by the global apex body on telecommunications. So much so that he was repeatedly an invited star speaker at their prestigious conferences and meets for several years. For example, he was invited to speak in coveted slots in the famous quadrennial conferences in Geneva of Telecom 87 on modern telecom economics, in Telecom 91 on telecom regulation, in Telecom 95 on telecom futures, and so on and so forth, and many other high-profile ITU and other international events. He was an unmatched evangelist for telecom reforms and growth in India. He sowed the seeds of liberalization of telecom resources, as pointed out by Dr. R. S. Sharmaji, of bringing in privatization, competition, which were all very revolutionary thoughts in those days of when telecom was considered as a natural monopoly. And these have led to the splendid outcomes that we are witnessing today. As the first chairman and managing director of BSNL, India's International Telecommunications Corporation, from 87 to 89, he was a key figure and influence on the mobile telephony age of Indian telecom. And between 89 and 95, he traveled extensively to several cities in India, holding seminars, discussions, debates, workshops, all with the focused objective of mobilizing public awareness and opinion for effecting major telecom reforms through privatization, liberalization, and competition, safeguarded through independent regulation. He always fought for regulation. It is well known that he played a key role, as Dr. Sharma also said, in drafting the TRA bill, which later became the basis of the final TRA Act. As part of his advocacy mission, he founded the Center for Telecommunications Management and Studies in 1989. And today we are here gathered under the auspices of that for the relaunch of that magazine. As a not-for-profit society to wage the intellectual campaign for bringing competition for public benefit. Anything he did was for the Aam Janata, for the common man, for getting telecom to deliver for the common man, not remain a tool of the elitist. He was also responsible for the birth of the telecom manufacturing sector in India. And it owes a lot of thanks for having grown today to great proportions. Coming to the monthly journal of CTMS itself, being a prolific writer himself, he launched it in January 1992, the magazine, the journal of CTMS, and used it effectively to spread his, as well as other reformists of that time, their thoughts and suggestions for progressing Indian telecoms. In those years, we all used to wait eagerly for the monthly issue of CTMS, since it was so informative and enlightening on aspects of modern telecommunication. And all that was very new in India. The CTMS, I must mention, received the patronage and blessings of luminaries like Shri Ratan Tata, Shri Dhirubhai Ambani, Shri Nani Palkiwala, Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao himself, Shri L.K. Advani, and others. And Shri N. Vittal, so famous, the then Secretary of DOT, he was a great supporter, a great admirer of Chaudhary Garu and CTMS. I've seen that personally in those times. I myself, I have personally benefited a lot from the guidance and encouragement of Dr. Chaudhary Garu. During my tenure as the first DG of COAI, many a time have I turned to him. He is my Paramaguru. I used to turn to him for understanding the various challenging situations of those first 2 decades of mobile telecommunications. Dr. Chaudhary Garu always stood by me, rock-like, a firm pillar, and encouraged me through those difficult times. We all owe him a lot. While it is well known that Dr. Chaudhary Garu played a pivotal role in framing the new IT policy of 2000, very few would be aware that he was a prime architect of the first ever national telecom policy. Very few are aware of that. which was released in May 1994. It was a very short and sweet policy, NTP 94, but indeed very far-sighted. It was the first to envision the concept of ubiquity and affordability of telephones for all and by all. In those times of entrenched monopoly, it was truly epoch-making, a great policy, and could have steered us to great heights. Unfortunately, that it faltered a bit in the implementation, quite a bit in the implementation, and therefore necessitated the subsequent formulation of the famous NTP 99 policy, where again Dr. Chaudhary played a crucial part. Dr. Chaudhary Garu passionately believed that Indian telecoms has a tryst with destiny, and that the time had come to redeem that pledge. With unflagging zeal and energy, he campaigned for his vision, despite many challenges, because he earnestly believed, like Edmund Burke, the famous British parliamentarian, whom he used to quote. I remember that in his magazine on secular also he has quoted it. All that is required for imperfections and wrongs to triumph is for good men to see them and do nothing. I think that was a very passionate belief of his. And he would not rest if he sees something wrong. I could go on for hours talking about this great man and his contributions to Indian telecom. But because of the limited time available to us today, I have to perforce conclude here with the following famous quote as a tribute to this fine gentleman. Good leaders have vision and inspire others to turn vision into reality. But great leaders have great vision and share that vision. And not least, they inspire others to create their vision. I would say that Chaudhary Garu was undoubtedly of the latter category. He not only led us, he showed us the vision, but he shared his vision with us, and he constantly taught us to create suitable visions for India to progress in telecommunications. Thank you, sir, for your constant teachings, blessings, guidance, and support. We shall continue to look forward to it. We wish you all the best in the years ahead. I will not say in retirement, because you do not believe in that. You believe in work, work, work. And you will carry on campaigning for the cause without end. God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for a patient hearing.